Bill O'Reilly here, Thursday, September 22nd, 2022. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening across our nation. The Attorney General of New York sues Donald Trump. Florida Governor DeSantis responds to a lawsuit in Massachusetts. Ratings crash for NBC's latest news show. Half of Americans consider themselves workaholics. Also ahead, hard times for Black Lives Matter. But first, New York Attorney General Letitia James filing a civil lawsuit against the Trump family. The Democrat claims Mr. Trump and his children filed false financial statements. Said Ms. James, quote, "Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal," unquote. Now, Donald Trump denies all wrongdoing, points out that he paid back every bank loan and had a disclaimer on the evaluations of his property. Just to be fair here. Florida Governor DeSantis releasing new evidence after far-left lawyers in Massachusetts filed a class action lawsuit against him. The group says DeSantis, quote, orchestrated a fraudulent and discriminatory scheme when he flew 50 migrants to Martha's Vineyard. DeSantis says all of the migrants signed consent forms and he has them. Documents show all of the migrants voluntarily made the trip to Massachusetts, so this lawsuit will probably be thrown out. NBC News launched a new program and it has crashed and burned already. The show, called Daily, averaged just 930,000 viewers during its opening week, finishing dead last in the daytime ratings. By comparison, 4.2 million Americans watched The Price is Right. Total viewership of all network TV down 50% compared to 2001. Study from the University of Georgia finds 55% of adults consider themselves workaholics. Most employees spend 20 hours a week focused on the job outside of the office. 75% check emails over the weekend. In a moment, these are depressing times for the Black Lives Matter movement. Right back with that analysis. Things are tough in the USA right now. Gas prices up 59%, food prices up 10%, and have you taken a look at your cable bill recently? Some of us are paying more than $150 a month. That's why I am excited about the streaming platform VidGo, VIDGO. VidGo gives you the freedom to be entertained at a price you can afford. VidGo has all my favorite live sports networks. They have a great choice of news programming, including The First, Newsmax, OAN, Fox News. VidGo also has more than 100 channels of entertainment. All of that for just $59 a month for the base package, $79 a month for premium. You deserve the freedom to be entertained at a price you and your family can afford. So please sign up at vidgo.com/bill. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Is the Black Lives Matter movement over? According to research done by Spiked Online, Black Lives Matter has had little positive impact in America. Since the formation of the group in 2013, the number of police shootings remains about the same in the USA. In total, 994 people were shot and killed by police in 2015. That figure rose by 16 last year, 6 years later. So it's what they call flat. Meantime, overall crime in America has skyrocketed. In 2020, the USA tallied more than 20,000 murders, the most since 1995. That was the crack war time. New York City added more than 100 additional homicides and endured a 58% increase in the murder rate. In Chicago, murders up 65%, killings in Louisville, Kentucky up 80%. Now, the homicides are increasing in nearly every American city because the American police are now underfunded and vilified in many places thanks to Black Lives Matter. In addition, the leader of the Black Lives Matter Global Foundation, based in Los Angeles, is now accused of stealing $10 million in donations. Shallow Maya Bowers allegedly funneled the money into his personal bank accounts. A civil lawsuit is underway in LA. The group's founder, Patrisse Cullors, recently resigned after she used donations to purchase a bunch of luxury homes. And BLM recently bought a $6 million mansion in Toronto, Canada, previously owned by the Communist Party of Canada. So much for helping African Americans. This is not a complicated story. The Black Lives Matter Global Foundation used donations which topped $100 million to enrich its leadership. Meanwhile, Black citizens are in grave danger from violent criminals, not the police, in poor neighborhoods across the country, especially in places like New York City, LA, and Chicago. We all know that. The stats are obvious to anyone who wants to look. Now, the liberal media will never, ever report the truth about the Black Lives Matter movement. But we will, because it is harming all Americans, and in particular, poor Americans of color. Drug gangs are running wild in the ghettos. And all of this stems from the attacks on the police. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. If you'd like more honest news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com. And my new book, Killing the Legends, The Lethal Danger of Celebrity, comes out next Tuesday. In a moment, something you might not know.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-230-0194. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-230-0194. That's 800-230-0194. Again, 800-230-0194.
Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 50 years ago this week, one of the most popular television programs ever debuted on CBS. The show spanned 11 seasons and 250 episodes. MASH had arrived. Here is the story. Based on a 1968 novel by Richard Hooker and a subsequent film directed by Robert Altman, MASH, the TV show, was set during the Korean War. The title MASH is short for Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. The program premiered on September 17th, 1972, quickly became a massive hit. Millions watched every week to see Alan Alda and his crew treat the wounded and then mock their superior officers. Most of the plots of MASH were critiques of the country's ongoing war in Vietnam. It was an allegory. In the middle of MASH's tenure, Al and Alda took creative control, co-writing and directing 40 episodes. Alda, as you may know, is an avid liberal. After 11 years on the air, MASH then came to a close. In February 1983, CBS aired a 2.5-hour finale, and the whole country watched. It was the biggest audience ever up to that time. In total, MASH won 14 Emmys, 9 Golden Globes, was honored with a Peabody Award for excellence in broadcasting. Now, the 1970 film, which is brilliant, starred Donald Sutherland and Elliot Gould, and it was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, winning Oscar for Best Screenplay. Some of the TV cast are still acting today. Loretta Switch, she played Hot Lips. Alan Alda himself, still acting. Jamie Farr, Klinger, and Mike Farrell. They are all in their 80s. And here's something else you might not know. The finale of MASH was a colossal financial success with 130 million people watching. CBS sold 30-second commercials at $500,000 a spot, more than they charged for ads during the Super Bowl. Today, MASH continues in reruns. It is still a very funny show, a classic. Back after this.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-925-7584 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-925-7584. That's 800-925-7584. What do you have to lose? Call 800-925-7584. Again, 800-925-7584.
Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.